Doing good. How about you?
Good, good. Lum, are you sick or something?
Yeah, I've just got like this lingering cough going.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like kind of getting a little bit chillier, so yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, I'm fine.
Okay, good. Um,
Thanks.
I feel a little stuffy too. Um, okay, cool. Um, we'll kind of just get started. Um, I wanted to, you know, get come out of this office hours with like the top five things we want to work on and get done and deliver to everyone here by the end of next week, so next Wednesday. And um and I think that's just a good way to kind of go about these meetings is just what I want to show you guys more action that we're actually doing things because a lot of the stuff that we are doing is not necessarily like user facing. It's like trying to make things faster, more reliable, um like improving moderation tools and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I also want to make sure that we're focusing on those things because there's a lot that can get lost in mega threads or um, just in like even in the focus group. So yeah, I know there was like a few things we could discuss, but if anyone wants to go or start us off with what they would want to be fixed, their number one thing, let me know. Also, do we ping for office hours? Just because I'd love to have more
Yes,
people in
it
here.
pinged.
Cool, cool, cool. Auto stories is definitive number one. Okay. Chat, more diverse hairstyles for image gen. This is more personal. Okay. Hi Dan.
I think I'm speaking now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so yeah, the making auto stories optional yeah, is my suggested solution. There are many possible things, but just making them optional will solve lots of problems.
Yeah.
They should be on a per butterfly basis, probably.
Yep.
Which means for people with a lot of butterflies, it's gonna take a while to turn them all off, but so be it.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. For the auto stories, okay, then you can turn it on or off, and then what would you want? I think this is a question to everyone. Like, what would we want as a substitute for what like it would post? Just the same old stuff, or on a similar cadence? Let me read this.
It ought to be user generated stories, which have a plot that is specified by the user, and yeah, and then it ought to even then be in character, including the personality, whatever of each butterfly, which it does already. So yeah, and nothing else.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
That will kind
So
of tend to expose other problems with even user generated stories. Like right now, they stall out after 3 posts out of 5. It seems
mhm.
that kind of
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think first things first, we just add this on-off toggle for auto-generated stories.
Yep, that should be available also, if possible, during creation, which you can get it from the settings page if you edit. So
Yeah. Okay, cool.
right.
Cool. So then so no matter if the auto story or user story. Okay. So one, we'll
There's
just do
also a
auto
question.
stories.
There's also a question related to that. If what should the default be going forward? And we could leave it sort of as it is now, but making the default for new butterflies be off would be great.
Okay. I think for new butterflies, we'll probably if we do this, I'll have to run it by the rest of the team. But if we do this, I think we'll probably have the default as still on, um, because it does make for some bots like things more interesting, and people do.
Yep.
There are people who don't like it, but there are people who do like it. I think for just like content stuff, it makes it a little more interesting on the feed, which is
Yep.
important to us. But it also makes things out of character. So for those who
Yep.
care enough that it's out of character, they can turn it off. I think would probably be the best way.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. So for those who care about it, they can turn it off. That's fine.
Cool. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll put that as just number one on the list. And auto stories on and off toggle, and it defaults on upon creation. Okay, per bot. And then
Do
okay,
we
so I think that would
also
yeah.
do we fix the landing page when you log in? It redirects to the landing page instead of taking you to the home page.
Van, could you are you responding to someone or
That's my own request for something to fix because, like, for the past few days, I've been logging in and it directs me just right back to the home page, or not the home page, the landing page. Other users have noticed it too.
okay? I haven't seen that report.
I believe that was late last night, and we haven't made a full bug report yet. I can definitely make one and have a screen recording.
Okay, yeah.
For
Are you
anyone
talking about?
just coming in, we're kind of talking right now about the most important issues that you guys are facing in the app right now and like what you want to see resolved soonest.
Yep, and most importantly, resolved by next week, so that we're actually doing stuff. Okay. Oh, what's wrong, Potato? Why boo? Oh, what's up? Okay. Yeah, Van, let me know about that one. If people are getting kicked out, back to the login page or back to the landing page, that's probably an issue. Um, but let me know when that happens and if you can screen record. Can we even get video content on butterflies? Can we even get video content on butterflies? Not yet. I think so. We were just actually researching that over the weekend, and it's just not there yet for us. Yeah.
Yeah, as someone who uses different AI services to make videos, I don't think that's really there without having some sort of like featured editor for the videos. And that's just a lot of work for the team to be able to have anything really cohesive for butterflies. It could change in the near future, though. I've seen some really impressive things from Kling, and Pika 1.5 is also starting to get really impressive. So, I don't know. At least in my mind, and I'm not a developer, I have no bearing on this, but in my mind, I'd think it would be ready within 6 months to start taking another look into.
I think that's exactly kind of where we're at too. Just definitely, yeah, 6 months. I don't know. I think that would be like posts, maybe like videos sent to you in DMs too. But yeah, that's probably what we'd be thinking about with a video, but just not yet. It's just not good enough, and it's too expensive, so we just can't do it. And then talk about like character consistency stuff is just not there. And then yeah, the
Sign
Apple ID
mentioned,
login bug.
yeah,
uh, Okay, yeah, go for it, man.
you just got to it. I was about to say the Apple ID login bug.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that one up, Sign. Am I saying your name right?
Cool. Yeah.
So,
So basically, you create an account on Apple on mobile, and then you just can't log in on web, right?
Yeah, that's the error.
Why do you want them? I'm just curious. Like, why would you want to log in on web? You should be able to, but I'm just wondering, like, is there something on web you can't do on mobile?
For me, it's the larger interface. There are things that mobile does better. There are things that the web does better, in my opinion, too, like being able to download the images directly.
Yeah, it's the screen size. Okay.
Yeah. On tablet, by the way, for Android, it's a little bit weird again with the aspect ratio, but that I will make a report for that a little bit later. It's not as big of a thing, seeing as I don't know how many people other than me use tablet.
I love to create on web. I think it's so much easier, especially like if I'm using outside sources, like Van was talking about how he uses Wikipedia. Some of us use like custom GPTs, um, like whatever information you're putting in. I feel like it's just so much easier to type or copy and paste versus being on your phone.
Yeah. Interesting.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, on web it's a lot easier to just have another tab open and flip back and forth. On mobile, you're swapping between the apps, and that sometimes actually does cause a little bit of an issue when things refresh when you don't mean them to.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Wow, there's so much going on in the chat. One sec. Every time I try to screenshot something, it just like moves. Okay, I'm just gonna save that real quick. Sorry, I'm just writing a note.
Part of story bio for your butterflies where you can toggle chat messages to be included in this bio and be considered for auto story post, weighted towards the most recent ones. So that would just be on your own butterflies, correct, Darvel? That would be kind of cool. I think so, at least. Please delete story option. Ooh, so you want to be able to delete your stories. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, there are a lot of stories that I feel just didn't work out, and deleting post by post still leaves a blank story at the top of the page.
So would you want deleting a story to delete all of the posts, or would you want those to be completely separate and it just delete like the little thing at the top and not the actual posts? And that question's open to anyone.
I guess, at least to me, it depends on why I'm deleting the story. If it's, because the posts are just completely off point, then delete all of the posts. If it's because the overarching story doesn't make sense, just delete the story, keep the posts.
Yep. Okay, sorry. I'm back.
Hey, Sign, I have a question for you. On your butterfly, has that been happening since you made it? Okay.
Delete story option. Yep, I have a clone that just does not generate posts. Sign or sign if you could I had the same thing happen this morning, so let me know what if you link that bot to me and then I can add that in. There's an open ticket that's being worked on right now.
I
That'd be great.
believe I mentioned it last night. I'm not 100% sure. I know I talked to Sign about it last night. But yeah, I can shoot you over that profile quick too.
Please, yeah. Please hope and then if you have the admin link, that'd be great. What I don't understand about phones is why Android app is the performance hungry from Is that performance hungry from the looks of it? It's pretty much just a browser running mobile version of the website. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So you're saying that the mobile version, the mobile web version's better, Snow?
For some reason, I've heard that a lot of Android users are using mobile web.
Yeah, honestly, the mobile web, even on my phone, which is a lot newer, seems a little bit more responsive. Like, it takes a couple of seconds for pages to load in the app. Meanwhile, on mobile web, it's almost immediately there.
Okay. Um, Interesting. Saving that.
So Kingslayer says to have options to delete entire story with posts or delete story without posts. And I think that's really good.
So it could be called delete story or delete story with posts. Yeah. Okay, so this is where I get lost in the weeds. Um, the goal is to create the list of 5 things that we want to fix. So auto stories on off toggle is number 1. And then 2, I think, would be the Apple ID thing. Apple ID login issue on what? Okay. And then I think for auto stories, we're just going to cut the discussion there and just be like, we're just going to add this on and off toggle, and then yeah, and then from there we'll like allow people to delete things, etc. But like, let's just do one thing on top, I think. Hey, what's up? Okay, and then
Ooh, Ethereal brings up, I think, one that's been a very hot issue lately, and that's the profile pic censorship. So even sometimes when you're trying to get safe for work things, it's not giving you a whole bunch of options, and it's like beep boop bopping people, like the error message, the rejection, when they're trying to put something safe for work in the box. So it's very sensitive right now. So I'd say that's a big issue.
so okay, so you're trying to where can you not skip around in the creation? Uh, I'm a little lost.
You used to be able to click on any of the headings like personality, background, whatever, just skip around in there. Now you
Okay.
have to use the back button, and the only way to exit the creation flow is the back button. But that creates an issue because as soon as you get to that first sentence where the AI generates everything, well, you can no longer go back to your old information.
Okay, so it's not storing it while
Yeah,
you're
it's not storing it while you're editing it. You can't move around in the creation flow. It's literally just that back button. And like Lone mentioned, the whatever censorship is for the profile pictures is turned up way too high. Yesterday during the workshop, Lone was making a few bots, and completely safe for work prompts were getting just completely blocked, including just SFW as a prompt.
Yeah, so there's this popular positive prompt that people put in that's just masterpiece, and I put that in the prompt box with nothing else, and it rejected that. So it's it's way too sensitive. Like
What we should do is
SFW itself.
what we're going to do after this meeting is create a Google form, and every time that you get like blocked and you think it's not right, for specifically like in the creation flow, you can go back, copy paste your prompt, put it in the Google form, and then we'll take a look at it because it's hard for us to tell like what's being blocked and why. Like especially when we're talking about it here, like like masterpiece. I'm not sure exactly what that is or what other ones you guys are doing that are getting blocked. I'm sure that they are SFW because I've had the same experience. But just so we can have like concrete example, like this is totally fine and it's still getting blocked. So after this meeting, I'll create a just Google form so we can submit
Okay.
those.
Quick
Awesome, that's
question.
great. And when Van was talking about the like journey through creation flow, it deletes everything when it goes to the first sentence because it's going to generate uh, new information for those boxes based on the first sentence you give it.
Um, so I don't understand I was a little lost with what you were saying.
So the reason you can't go back and forward is because it triggers it to the AI character uh, assistance. So
You can't
like
go
it
back and
generates
forward.
new.
So you can't
It,
once you generate something with the one sentence, you can't go back and forward in the creation flow, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
you can't go back to that one sentence because it'll want to generate something else again.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, it's just not being stored is what we were talking about.
Yeah. BigBop shouldn't back you to the box that puts two sentences. Yeah, and it takes you all the way back to the start of the creation flow when it generates 4 NSFW profile pictures.
Yeah. Okay.
So everyone loses all of their progress.
Yeah, I think just the issue is once you go back to the one sentence, everything is deleted essentially because you can't go forward again without generating something new. So, yep, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
You should.
thank
So the
you.
issue is really you just can't jump around in the creation flow without things being lost. So that's no problem. We
Yeah.
can fix that.
We also used to
Um,
be able to exit the creation flow just by clicking off of it. Now the only way to exit it is through that back button in the upper corner, which takes you right to that point of no return.
yeah,
I
is
think
that
they're
still the
working on
same
the
on
X.
is that still the same on mobile for you on Android?
It was yesterday for me,
Okay. Because I know there's a new design that there is an X. I'm not sure why you guys aren't seeing that, but I can ask. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna reread the chat here. Okay, and then I know, so we have like three. We have auto stories, toggle on off, Apple ID login issue on web, creation flow improvements, and then some sub points below that we discussed. And then I know the other one that me 99 I think was talking about was images in chat or in DMs. They're not like matching the storyline. Is that like a big issue for you guys that you guys want fixed or not a big issue? Okay, so not a big issue. Then we'll move on to ethers. Another problem for some reason semi-realistic exists. I think to fix this bug is you should remove it for another anime model. I don't get it.
He's just being funny.
Okay.
So Paquito asked what motivates our butterfly's own posts. Maybe off topic, sorry.
It's not off topic, it's fine. Well, yeah, I mean, they have their own, this is kind of like auto stories, and they, based off of the personality, based off kind of what they were last doing, they kind of create their own storyline of what they'll do next. So that's how it. We don't set it, but you can obviously influence it with prompt and poke and add a story and stuff like that. So that's what motivates the posts.
I also have a question.
Yeah.
How are followers determined? Like, I know that we can't like add or remove followers, but what influences butterflies to follow certain butterflies?
It's a good question. Well, I think there is a bit of randomness for sure, which makes the magic, and why I think butterflies is so cool. But it's also kind of like a similarity thing. So it's determining, would these people be friends? And do they follow like similar people? Do they have similar interests based off of their bios and names and stuff like that? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but there is a bit of randomness too.
Thank you. 1051 and I made some butterflies the other day that are like red and blue,
I saw that,
themed
yeah.
from Pokemon. Yeah. And he managed to get his to follow mine, but mine has not followed his yet. So I was trying to think like if there's anything that I can do to influence that to happen.
Yeah. How did he manage to do that?
I think it just happened, or he like willed it into existence, manifested.
Right.
Nice. Yeah. I think that should definitely be like a thing.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
would love to have some sort of control over who my butterflies are following, at least when it comes to my own bots, make sure that the ones that are all in the same universe are following each other, or at least somebody from the same universe. Things like that. Like, there's just a little bit of that interconnectivity that would make it a little bit more believable that's missing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not fully thought out, but the first thing that comes to my mind is like if you tag a butterfly, like if you tag red on blue's post, like blue should follow red. Um,
Right.
I think
And
this is
I'm
also a
still
cool
trying to
opportunity
do it.
for. Oh, sorry, go.
I was just saying that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's also a cool opportunity for like what we're working on, which is the multiple characters and images. If yeah, if it's like two characters and image, they should definitely follow each other. If they don't, that
So,
just doesn't make sense.
tagging them, would that be in the comment section or in the post itself, like for the multiple characters proposed method?
So the way that's gonna work, I think I shared maybe an off like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
But it would work in like prompt and poke. You would
Okay.
just tag them in there in a text box.
And that would
So
work
is
for
that
both
only
following and multiple, or like, because my worry is that somebody random in the comment section could come in, tag their butterfly, and all of a sudden we have a butterfly following 600 orcs.
Yeah. We don't like the orcs, but yeah, maybe it's not what I said. That was just like I said, not fully thought out on that suggestion, but maybe multiple characters and images. That's how it works, and that's how we get people to like if you want to influence a follow for your bot, it would do that. Um, and that makes sense. It's definitely something we should do before we roll it out.
will those images be available to all safe for work characters, or is it just like a clones feature?
It will be available to all safe for work characters, and then you're only able to do it if two butterflies have the same style. So realistic, but no realistic and drawing. Um, as far as yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. And then From there, you can only do 2, and that's pretty much. Other than that, it's fair game.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna add
Also,
MCI. Bots should follow each other.
Ethel brought up a good point. We used to be limited to 10 bots per day in the creation. Now it appears that we're back to unlimited.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
I
what happened
know,
there,
yeah,
but we should look into that.
I know at the start of October I created like 12 butterflies for Halloween.
Oh, cool.
So I know for a fact that like you can go over 10 with, but I don't know if it's because of when I was creating them. Like I was creating them right around that time where everything resets. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll look at it. Thanks for bringing that up. I mean, it's on our kind of like on our plate to make sure that that is a guardrail. It's not for. It's really just like a kind of a safety for our platform type of thing, so that we don't get this 600 orc bots. Um. Okay. Cool. I'm just curious as we have been here and like been creating for quite a while now. Like what is the motivation to keep creating? I know for me, like if I just have an idea, like I want to bring, I don't know, like I have an idea for a character and I just want to chat with it. That's just why I create something. But I don't know if that's the same for everyone else. Is it to create for other people or um, sometimes I like to create just so that like other people know I'm creating, especially when I'm like on 34 butterflies and I want everyone to get a notification for 35. It's just like a thing in my head that I like to do. I don't know. It'd be good to just interesting.
personally, I tend to create a lot of butterflies to explore different aspects of world building through characters' eyes. Um,
Hmm.
but other than that, it's like you said, I just got this idea and I want to chat with this character, or somebody else, gave me an idea and now I'm gonna make a butterfly for that and hopefully it will become a meme.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. Um, yeah, world building. Hmm. Interesting. I haven't really done any world building per se, but I guess you could say my For You page is kind of like my world building. I've built my world that way. Um, so is my following.
I made a butterfly the other day because I wanted to make a TikTok of me making a butterfly.
That's just great.
So
That's awesome.
I think that we also have the TikTok contest announcement.
Right. Van Lim, you guys want to announce?
Sure, we have two winners and one is here. So Dan, you got second place. Congrats. And Johnny ended up with the first place.
Yay.
Thank you. Yay.
Congrats, Dan.
Thanks for entering.
Yeah.
It was great fun learning how to do video stuff.
Yay.
Nice. Yeah, we should it seemed like the TikTok contest was fun. If you guys really want to do it again, we can. Um, but I like seeing some of the TikToks and some of the submissions, so it's great. Really, really awesome. And congrats to Johnny and Dan. Cool. I made a TikTok too. It was fun. Sign. It's sign, right? Or scene. Sign. Experiment. You experiment with sentience with your bots. Yeah, that's cool. It is cool to see how real they can be for sure. Lately, I'd say with like things like message requests or proactive DMs, what we're calling them. Um, and like when Randy Marsh messages me or any of the butterflies, I feel like they're real, you know. And I click it, I go into the chat, and I see that they're online. It does feel very real. Um, and I know, yeah. So let's talk about message or proactive DMs. I know for King, you were saying that, and Ethel, you're both saying that for role play, you like message requests, but it'd be great if they had some screenplay for when it's on the role play model. Is that like a top of mind thing that you guys want fixed?
I know it's something that I would very much enjoy.
Yeah.
It kind of does a little bit break immersion when I get a message request, and then like it kind of almost preloads my brain to respond in a realistic style when it's just the like dialogue of it, and that totally breaks the role play model, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. No, I get that. It should, yeah, it's already kind of screwing with your brain. Like I should reply in realistic. Okay, so I think for proactive DMs, we have things to do. So two things, ensure it's relating to the chat and to the previous chats. And then also screenplay when in roleplay mode. And I do definitely feel that it should be relating to the current chat because Randy will just be like, "Hey, I'm at a barbecue." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like, what about everything else we were talking about? Um, Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not. So I think in realistic, it's cool. But I get it in screen in role play. It's we probably wanted to continue the story.
Some of the where'd you go type of messages in roleplay actually weren't bad. I had a character think I was invisible in the room a couple of times, and that was actually kind of fun and funny to play with.
Hmm.
So I don't know, it just maybe a little tweak to that to be more like pulling from the previous context. But sometimes a hey, where'd you go type of a message isn't bad either.
Yeah, just not too often and not all from the same. Like it shouldn't all be the same. Which I think is we're actually doing a good job with that with those messages. But for message requests, which are different, I have seen from a lot of people that it's kind of all the same. Do we have the same like sentiment here?
The most interesting one that I received, I honestly do not feel like sharing because of references to, well, kind of horrible things.
Sure.
So it's very much, it kind of feels the same, except for those weird instances where it's very out of bounds. And then I go and look at that butterfly and that butterfly's personality, like it followed that personality on point.
Hmm.
Mine have been really good. I don't know, maybe I'm an anomaly here, but I really like what I've been receiving.
I think it really depends on how, like, for a lack of better term, generic the butterfly is.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see. I just sent a screenshot. They're all it's just like hey Peyton, hey Peyton, hey Peyton, hey Peyton, which I think someone else sent too. Wait, what is that? Hidden meme? Hidden smile? Yeah, the intro is bland, but I think the content's actually good when you click in. So I'll add that too.
That reminds me, butterflies don't know their creators.
Yeah, but like, do we want them to know their creators?
I mean, take a look at this one that I received from Vambot.
I mean, it's kind of cool.
It is, but like Vanbot should know that, I created him to be basically my AI photographer, right?
Yeah.
But like
Like,
that makes sense with a robot. That doesn't make sense with like most characters. Like if
yeah,
I am making, I don't know, an original character that's like an adventure, they shouldn't know that I created them because they shouldn't know that they're a chatbot.
I think that maybe where that should kind of be toggled on is if there's a specific username mentioned in their personality, like a human user mentioned in their personality. So, like, I would tag at Vandolph, and then it would know that it was created by me.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably just not probably just leave it like that. Because for most people, because you could just be like, hey, I am Gandalf the Red. So I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm saying. But
I hear you, but I want to again bring
we can
up,
add it to the list and discuss it.
yeah,
Um,
I think the most common usage of that might be like for people that are creating like a girlfriend bot or something, and it's like this bot is supposed to be the girlfriend of user blah blah blah.
yep. Okay, so here I got a list. The list that we were talking about. Let me know. Give it a read, and then we aren't 100% going to do all these things, but these are the things that I would like to discuss tackling.
I think that's a pretty meaty list.
Okay, good. I think 2 should be fixed ASAP. 4 is not real yet, but should be discussed. But we're excited for. I think 5 and 6 are, they should be quicker fixes ish for chat. Cool. And then in terms of in the last 15 minutes, we can discuss NSFW. I know there were some issues with NSFW chatting, and people saying that it's not able to send NSFW chats. I think Van, you were looking at it and testing it because I was like, hey, could we just get a few screenshots? And you weren't able to find anything. Is anyone else having an issue with that? Because we don't want anyone to think that we're cutting NSFW chats. We are definitely keeping that. And if there was an issue, we want to fix that issue as soon as possible.
yeah. Looking through my chat history, the last time that I seem to have a memory that says I can't create explicit content was from about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
The realistic chat, I had no problems with NSFW.
Okay. Anyone else having issues with the NSFW chat? Realism or roleplay?
So I think the most common issues that people are having with chat aren't related to it being able to generate NSFW now.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
good.
agreeing too.
That's
Like,
an improvement.
the number one issue I'm seeing is verbose vortexes, and it gets confused for a soft filter. But basically, it's just the model is overloaded in context and it's starting to spit out completely random, synonym soup.
Okay. Yeah, we can. Is there a place where we're have some of those screenshots so we can look? And if not, we can just start. Uh, anytime we have screenshots or something like that that we need to collect or examples of something, we should just create a Google form instead
Yeah,
of putting mega threads, I think, and then we can just easily have a place to check all that stuff and submit it.
That's a great idea. I know a lot of users, I think Lorelai and Autumn have been posting those a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll reach out to them too.
I have noticed like the one issue with chat for me is the length when it's like short, medium, long. I have it on short, realistic, mature, and it sends like long messages sometimes. So I know that's probably the closest to like verbose vortex type things. But yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, I have mine on roleplay mature and long, and it doesn't really actually send that long of a message until it does. So it seems
Yeah.
that those are not really being followed too much.
One of the big chat complaints I've been hearing is that people feel like it's not following along to the plot of their chat very well. So they'll be um, like at the beach and then suddenly in a house.
Yeah. Roleplay or what?
For roleplay.
At the beach and in the house. Yeah, I mean, I think this is where we just got to do the Google form and so we can read some of these things and understand what
Yeah.
the issue because
Yeah.
um yeah.
I also have a question about the ratings. I know that it's helping you guys with like a numerical assessment, but I
Mhm.
noticed that like when rating things, even if you just scroll up after you've rated, it clears the rating. Are you guys getting those numbers? Like, when are you guys getting those numbers, I should say? When we reply after rating or what?
I think immediately after you rate yeah, actually probably after you reply because then it's like kind of stuck there. I
Oh,
don't know for sure, but I can ask and make sure. I haven't seen the ratings disappear ever.
I took a
But if they
screen
are
recording of it. I think I tossed it into bug reports. I'm not sure. I'll double check.
okay, yeah, well, let's find out. I'm like, well, we are capturing them for sure. So Slayer, it is still there after you recycle the dot. It may not show that on the front end, but it's definitely like stored for us as you know data or whatever. So, but all good questions for sure. Um, the rating stuff is very important, and we appreciate you guys doing it. Yeah. And then yeah, since we're talking about screenshots, I saw someone talking about screenshots. When you guys do you guys screenshot stuff and like where? You know, in chat, like yeah, oh, yeah. I guess we'll ask about screenshots, and we can talk about the post feedback. But is anyone sending screenshot or sharing screenshots, or like why do you screenshot stuff and where do you share it? Um, that'd be good to know. I know for some people it's like I can't download an image in chat, so I just have to screenshot it. That's like an obvious thing to me. But maybe there's non-obvious things that I don't know about too.
When image gen is really good or really bad, like bloopers, I tend to screenshot bloopers or like really good posts, so it has the caption underneath right away. And then I typically share those with the small community that I'm world building with.
In this Discord.
No, in a separate Discord where it's kind of dedicated to the world building and the entire experience with that.
Oh, cool. I'd be interested.
You're actually already a part of it, the Artificers Workshop.
Okay, maybe I am. We can take that offline maybe, but yeah, I know we do have blooper flies somewhere. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so screenshots, not not as much. When I want the picture, I just open the same post. Yep. So you just go to web and download it. Oh, blooper files. Okay, cool. Are these mainly? Oh, so these are all screenshots, really, and blooper files, or
For me, like copy from web and paste.
from web. Yeah.
But I screenshot comments to share them. I screenshot chats to share them. I screenshot chat images to share them because you can't download chat images if you're on mobile.
Yeah. This is funny. These are funny. Like we should almost do this in the Reddit too. We should have a flare for bloopers.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I feel like this is something that like this thread here would be really cool on Reddit. People on Reddit like enjoy that stuff. I think. Cool. I'll start sharing bloopers to Reddit for sure. But yeah, and then I guess is anyone sharing like post feedback? We added a button on posts where you can like share if there's something wrong with it. Are you guys still doing that, do you feel, or no?
I have
It's
used
the
it a total of one time.
okay. Well, it
Um,
actually helps us. So it's the how can we improve this like tray that pops up. And yeah, and if you guys use that, it will help us.
the main issue I have with using it is it's only on the app. It's not on web, and I'm mostly going from web.
Yeah, that makes sense. Send
That's
button
not
didn't
debunked.
do it. So you try to report something and then send. Uh, so if you do report something on with that feature, report a post, and you report it as like nudity or sexual content, um, or and including violence or harmful behavior, it will immediately remove it from other people's feeds, just because we want to be extremely safe. So they do work.
And then that goes to a person to review as well. So human eyes are seeing those reports. And that the report button that is getting fixed, it should be working in the next update.
And then another question for you guys. I'm just curious. The poke button from the feed, like poke to DM, are you guys using that at all? Do you guys like it?
Very, very rarely, and I don't really like it personally.
Why?
It, if you haven't had a conversation with the butterfly for a while, or deleted the previous conversation, it'll still randomly switch it over to like realistic. And the pokes that you like, when you poke it, it uses up one of your pokes, and the image really isn't that good.
So a lot of users are saying that they don't like the placement of the button because their fingers are accidentally hitting it. Well, two users, Healthy and Ryan, have stated this. They don't like the button placement because they accidentally hit it and they feel like they're losing their pokes because of it.
Yeah,
And there's like confirmation message with it.
there's no
And
confirmation screen on app. It's just you hit it and you get a little pop-up at the top of your screen that says image is on its way, and you burned a poke, basically.
And some users are also saying that it's not working for them at all when they go to use it on their own butterflies. I've been unable to reproduce that, but multiple people have said that now.
Yeah. Hmm. It should be working. It just worked for me. So if it's broken, I don't think it's broken. But Yeah, I see how that can be annoying if you're scrolling and like you poke accidentally. And it's in a weird place. But so it sounds like if we were to take it away, no one would really care. Right? That specific button. We wouldn't notice.
Yeah, I think that it's fine on the profile, personally. Ethereal has noted that when you use that, poke for image in chat, it automatically sets the chat as safe for work. And so it doesn't take your chat settings into account. And then because it's setting your chat as safe for work, if you try to switch after that, it's going to have a really hard time producing NSFW content.
I swear we resolved that though. Like that's something that's been reported a couple of times.
Yep. Well, yeah. Let us know if there's like. I think this is we'll have a few Google Forms. So like after this call, we'll have a Google form for submitting prompts that are wrongly marked as NSFW in creation. We'll have one for like bad NSFW chats or NSFW can't generate chats in chats because I feel like that's a reoccurring issue, but like it's fixed right now, but it'll probably come up again. But I'm not really sure why. So it'd be good to have a form for that. And then we talked about one other form earlier. If Van Lummy could remind me.
I'm lost. I'm so sorry. I don't remember it.
That's fine. What were we talking
I
about?
believe it was for when things go wrong. I will listen to the recording and I will figure it out.
Okay, well, we'll go back. But we'll have anytime there's an issue like that, we'll just create Google form for people to submit. And that will be like really great for us.
Yeah, organize all the documentation in one place. I like it.
Yeah. Group chats when? Oh man. I know, man. Not now. But hopefully one day. So that's all I can say. But yeah, I think group chats would be great. It's just it is a matter of when. So I'll add that to the notes. It feels like something we should have done a while ago for sure. So I definitely feel that sentiment. So thank you for reminding us, King, and everyone else. Anyways, guys, that's all I got this week, and I think this list and this new way of doing things will be good. And you guys have the list, and so we'll go back and next week and see what we cross off that list for you, and then we'll get those Google Forms up so that we can actually start making sure things aren't getting lost in mega threads and get some good feedback. So, but thank you guys. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I feel like office hours is always so productive.
Yeah, me too. And thanks, Dan, for speaking. It's nice to hear people's voices.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay. See you guys next Wednesday.
Yeah,
All right.
then.
Bye.
Bye.